Hi, I'm Ibs,
And I'm Anton.
and welcome to this channel where we speak all things football. Today, we'll be talking about Man United's 2-1 win away to Fulham. Let's get into it. So, the first question I'll ask you, Anton, is how did you feel when you first saw the lineups?
I was impressed knowing that we have Liverpool, which is obviously probably the toughest game at the moment, in the FA Cup on the weekend. I knew that he had to rest maybe a couple of his main players, so Rashford didn't start, McTominay didn't start. So I was happy with the starting lineup. When you're pushing for top spot in the league, you have to go strong regardless of who you play against. And we fielded an almost perfectly strong side in Ollie's eyes. I like Cavani up front. I do respect that he came in last minute. Maybe he probably didn't come in knowing that he's going to be the main striker, but I really do think that we need to start him every match in the Premier League at least. And Bailly with Maguire at the back, I think is perfect. I think it's our best centre-back partnership. What about you?
Yeah, I think when I first saw the team, I was actually surprised that he went for such a strong team. But I was also disappointed at the same time, as I would have expected Van der Beek to start.
Yeah.
And again, he didn't even get onto the pitch today. So I don't know what's going on there. He went with Greenwood this game. Gave Greenwood a chance. Didn't really do too much today. He started running down the wing, and then he just stopped again. Right mid, I think, is an issue we need to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think the lineup was probably one of our best teams, maybe our second best team.
Going on to the right wing problem. I don't really think it's still a problem, but it's something that might be getting resolved soon. We knew from the pre-match press conference that Ollie had for this game, a question about Amad Diallo was asked, and it's very likely that he will be in one of the Liverpool or Sheffield United matchday squads. He might even make it onto the pitch in one of those matches, and obviously he is a right winger. So I'm hoping that he does hit the ground running. He did cost us around 40 million. Now that isn't he's going to come in and be an instant success. We are paying 40 million for the potential. So although he won't be the best that he will be right now, I am hoping, and I do think that the right wing will be temporarily solved at the very least. So Greenwood off the right might not be for that much longer, which does mean he probably will be getting less play time because he'll be battling it out with Martial and Cavani up front. But it's all for the development at the end of the day.
So yeah, going off that, I guess we started with the attack today. So let's move on to the striker Cavani, who I think was man of the match. I hope you agree as well.
Yeah, I don't agree with you being man of the match. I think it has to be one of the centre midfielders because, as you know, as a cliche, not really a cliche in football, the game is won or lost in the midfield. And the way I still can't decide between Pogba and Fred for my man of the match, the way they hustled in the midfield, especially Pogba. And now I say that, I probably do think that Pogba is my man of the match. The way he hustled in the midfield, I haven't seen him in a long time put in the amount of effort to win the ball back when he lost it. And I think for that reason, he has to be my man of the match, although Cavani did have a great match.
Well, keeping on the topic of Pogba, do you think that he's just making all these good performances as the exit door is coming? Is he trying to put his name? Is he trying to put his name on the back pages so then all the big clubs can come in for him in the summer?
Yes and no. We've got to remember he is a professional footballer, and it is his job to play football, regardless of whether he likes it or not. He's playing for Manchester United. He went through the youth system here. He knows the club, and I know we say that about a lot of players who don't necessarily have the talent to play for the club, but it is Pogba. He knows the club through and through. He knows that better than anybody else, he probably doesn't want to be here long term, which is perfectly fine. He's getting into his prime years if he's not there already as a centre midfielder. And he has been linked to Madrid, Juventus, PSG, which are clubs that do challenge for the Champions League and are probably more lucrative than us at the moment, which is something I don't really want to say, especially about Madrid. But whether or not he's playing to put himself in the market or to increase his value or or anything. We just have to enjoy what he's doing right now because, as I said in the last episode, since the West Ham game, he has been our best player, and he's getting better every single game.
Yeah, this is definitely the best spell I've seen him in United shirt. Don't know how many years it's been for him to get to these levels, but it's actually great to see him at this level. And there's no coincidence that he's gained this level when he's got best players around him. I think that's the difference this season and the last few years so far.
But what do you think of the Pogba-Fred partnership? Because a lot of people were saying that it was McTominay next to Fred because of his energy, but Pogba did show he has a lot of energy today. Do you think that could be going
against a better midfield? They'll just get dominated. I think having Pogba and Fred, because I saw chances where Ruben lost a cheek.
Yeah,
he just brushed off Fred and just was driving out our defense. Like it wasn't
bodied.
Yeah, he just got bodied by. Yeah, but I don't think it can work because Pogba might get caught too high up, and then Fred's just left 1v3 or whatever.
But then we did see Fernandes tracking back, and even Cavani, who's always been a very hard-working striker. There, I feel like even though it was against Fulham, and I say that with the most respect I can give them, everyone put in a hell of a shift. Like I'm seeing Cavani track back and make tackles on their centre midfielder. I'm seeing Fernandes in the right back position making tackles. The same with Pogba. I feel like if today was an indication of the improvements that we've been making with the players that we have, I'm more than happy to drop McTominay's energy and just put Pogba in there, because at the end of the day, when we're passing out from the back, when we're getting pressed, when we're trying to start something, I'd rather have Pogba there than Scott McTominay.
I think against one of the big teams, I think we have to risk it playing Pogba in the centre mid with Fred. If we want to actually challenge for the league, we have to actually try it. Yeah. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then we just get popped. Then it doesn't work. It'll be a learning curve. But I think we should experiment with it. And also, like, we can always bring McTominay off from the bench or Matic, like we did in the last few minutes. But going back to Cavani, I think his work rate today, I've never seen that from like a striker in like a few years' time for Man U. Like, he's just showing like Martial, showing Rashford, showing Greenwood the way is like even the movement to get that first goal, like he's just top class.
Although he's only just come, he's playing like a traditional Manchester United player up front. He's not on the same level as Rooney was back then, but he's playing like a Wayne Rooney in terms of he's just everywhere. He covers every blade of grass from the striker spot, and it's something I love to see, and it fills you with confidence as well. When we went behind, I wasn't stressed, to be perfectly honest. I knew even if we went behind in the 60th minute, I knew we'd come back and win. So, and Cavani's a massive part of that for me.
Yeah, going behind wasn't a doubt. I knew, like, even if we went 2-0 down, I knew we'd get back. But it's just a disappointment. Why do we always have to go a goal down, especially away from home?
Yeah.
And then have to get back, because that just reduces our goal difference at the end of the day. Yeah. And this league, you don't know how tight the league is. So tight at the moment. We don't know if goal difference is gonna. Well, we know from 2012. We know what goal difference means. So we can't allow that same mistake to happen this year.
We're not there to happen twice.
We just need to keep this momentum into the next game. We've got Liverpool on the weekend, FA Cup. Hopefully, as you said, Diallo, we get to see glimpses of him on that game. But yeah.
What now we're talking about challenging for the league, and although we are 19 games in, we can be overtaken by Man City with their game in hand. Do you think that added pressure is either gonna make us perform better? Because you never know, that result that City got earlier might have been the reason Pogba was busting his lungs, might be the reason Cavani was making tackles 50 yards away from his actual position. You don't know, is it? Do you think it will add pressure to us and we'll perform better or worse? Because that's something that I'm kind of nervous about. We haven't been in this position before in a long time with this crop of players.
I do feel that it's better for us to be chasing rather than being at the top and have everyone chasing us. I feel like if we're at the top, I think we'd crumble under the pressure. Yeah. Whereas we've always been like the underdogs, like in the title race. So if we are a point behind City, I think that's to our advantage, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's up to City to maintain their level of consistency, which they obviously can do. But with this season, we just don't know. Anything can happen. So that's what I think.
Man, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a ride that we will enjoy. We've got Sheffield United next, bottom of the league. They are improving so slightly. We have to be wary of McGoldrick, who does seem to score against every big team. But I do feel like we'll get another win, and hopefully Liverpool drop points. Hopefully City get a draw in their next game or a loss. And then we can sit pretty and comfortable at the top of the table. Because Sir Alex Ferguson said it. He doesn't want the games in hand. He'd rather have the points on the table, and I echo that as well. I'd rather just beat up everyone on the same amount of games so we can really see. We don't want a false sense of security. That's what I don't want.
In terms of getting to the top, we can't concede the type of goals that we've been conceding. Like today, we conceded in the 4th minute. It was literally just one run, straight pass down the middle.
Yeah.
Literally no one was marking him. I think Pogba had pointed to Lookman, who was making the run, and literally he was just left by himself. And we can't just rely on VAR. Like, it was very close, but we can't just rely on VAR. Like, that run has to be tracked. And then they scored.
Back to what you said before about why do we go behind to win. At this point, I think it's a mental thing. We do seem to start slowly in almost every match we play, but I would say against the big teams, we didn't lose against Liverpool, to be fair to us, but I don't know. I can't explain it. I just think it's a mental thing why we can't start the game the way we finish, because we always finish strong. We always camping on the edge of their box, passing it around, trying to find that goal, and we do, but I just don't see why we can't just play the whole 90 minutes like that.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, we just start slow. I don't know, maybe we expect to win, so we're kind of laid back. Obviously, we just played Liverpool.
Yeah.
It must have been a very intense game for the players. They might be a bit, they don't have as much energy as they did against Liverpool.
Yeah.
So going to goal behind, maybe they shook the players, but then deep down they just knew that they'll get the win. So as soon as they scored, Fernandes was just straight on it. He was playing passes through, he was getting shots off. Then he got this. Then he got the assist for Cavani, or was it?
Would that count?
I don't know.
I don't think it would, because there's. I mean, you can have a deflected pass that's an assist, but I just feel like that's a whole different, not phase of play. But Areola had possession of the ball, I think, for a brief second. So regardless, Bruno was involved again. Poor mistake by the keeper, but we just have to cut out the silly errors early on. And in all of the games, to be honest, no silly errors.
In terms of Bruno, again, he didn't do too much this game. And this is like the type of game where maybe you don't play him for as long as we did, like 88 minutes or whatever we played him. Maybe bring him off in the 70th minute and bring on Van der Beek and see what he can do.
Yeah.
I don't know why we had to play him for so long and we have someone like Van der Beek on the bench. Van der Beek could play in the 10, or he could play in the 2 with Fred and move Pogba into the 10, because Pogba was having a great game.
Yeah.
So I don't get why we play Fernandes when we don't need to play him.
As I said before, I think when you're chasing top spot and the league at the end of the day, you need to play the strongest team, and whether we want to like it or not, Van der Beek isn't part of that. And although we have all of our arguments for playing Van der Beek, like he's quick on the ball, 1-2 touch, would have been perfect today, in my opinion. We are top of the league without Van der Beek playing a massive role. So there's a both sides to a coin. So even though Bruno Fernandes didn't get his goal and assist, he hit the post, I want to say twice. No, he hit the post once, made a good save out of Areola. This was in the first half. So like, he was doing stuff, it just wasn't in the back of the net, really. So, yeah, it's it's a sticky one at the moment. Are you worried about his dip in form?
No, because I know that in any moment he can get the assist.
Exactly.
He can get that pass, so I'm not too worried about him. I just want to see like the best from the other players given a chance. Like we're winning 2-1. Why not bring him on and see out the game? Like or maybe he's going to give him a chance, obviously, against Liverpool.
That's the thing. I just don't feel like he will. That's the annoying thing. I don't feel like we're talking about Van der Beek.
Yeah.
I can't see it. And it annoys me, and I'm seeing a lot of reports from Sky Sports, especially, is already talking about Van der Beek moving away from the club. It does scare me because he is such a young, promising player, one of the better players in his position. But I just can't. I can't see how he's in Ollie's plans because he would have played way more if he was.
Do you think Ollie wanted him?
I don't think Ollie wanted him. Ollie wanted Grealish, and it was public knowledge. Fabrizio Romano made it public knowledge, and he is a tier one journalist when it comes to Manchester United. I said it when we signed him, and I've always said it. Van der Beek was a fan service signing from the board because we all know how much deserved criticism they do receive. And I just feel like because he was so much cheaper than Grealish, and he was, to be fair, a player that we had been linked with a little bit, and the fact that Van der Sar works for Ajax, I just feel like it was a fan service signing. It got done in 1 or 2 days. He's a very likable player. A lot of United fans wanted him, but it was common knowledge that Grealish was Solskjaer's first target, and I still think we'll get him. And maybe that might just spell the end for Donny. We might make a profit on him because, that's how football works. But
and also in terms of transfers, I've been hearing rumours of Declan Rice and Danny Ings. In fact, apparently he wants to be playing Champions League football. And looking for a move out of Southampton.
Not for us, bro.
Are United on the list?
I wouldn't be taking links. We're on the list because we're Manchester United. We get links to every player in the world. Danny Ings can play Champions League football for Lazio if he wants. He's not coming to United. One, he played for Liverpool, so I can't see that happening. And two, can't see how he gets in ahead of Cavani. And he wouldn't drop Martial. Three, let me think of another reason quickly. I just cannot see United signing a player like that. We have a rich history of those Chicharito Hernandez, Solskjaer, Teddy Sheringham signings where they're not the flashiest players, but they bag the goals. But we haven't. Woodward loves a star. Danny Ings is just not a star. He wouldn't look good in United shirt.
He does score goals.
He does.
Like 20 plus goals a season.
Once.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah. But he has been injured this season. I don't see why we'd want to sign him.
Yeah, he's an extremely injury prone player.
So that'll just be a liability.
Yeah.
But I think Declan Rice, that is someone I think Solskjaer has wanted. I guess his price is just going to increase.
Be careful though. I wouldn't hold your breath.
You don't think?
No. This is another Ronaldo, Sergio Ramos. Every single transfer window we get linked to a certain player. And I think Declan Rice, it's his turn, to be perfectly honest. He's more likely going to end up at Chelsea with his best friend Mount and his Lampard mentor. He's an exceptional player. He's captain of West Ham now. Mark Noble isn't playing as much, and he is a massive reason as to why they are playing so well. But he has the English tax and the Manchester United tax. We'd be paying easily north of 80 million, and I don't think he's worth that much just yet. And I don't think he'll come to Manchester United for that reason.
Yeah, but what was it? I was going to say, we are linked to many English players, and I don't feel like we can actually afford to get all of them. So one of them is obviously said Grealish, Sancho. I think his price will probably decrease. I think we'll definitely get Sancho this summer. So I think we will. But at the same time, we have just got Diallo.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. I don't know what the board are planning or what the club's planning, but Sancho was obviously there on their number one list from the last transfer window. I don't think they're just going to go this summer.
The movement on Sancho will depend solely on the other. Because if he comes in and hits the ground running and he puts in a type of performance every week that we wouldn't have expected yet, then I can't see us moving with Sancho, which is good. It won't be bad because that means we have a ready-made player. But then we will be able to invest more money into a transfer like Grealish or another centre-back, because I still think we'll be in the market for one. Maybe another CDM. The links to Moises Caicedo has gone quiet from Ecuador, but I mean, he's still there. He might go to Everton. He said himself he wants to play for United, but not yet. So maybe that might be another reason why. But with all these English players, they're good. And I'm happy that England have a lot of good young players, but I can't see more than one. If we get one English player, that's it. One more, because we have a few already.
Yeah, I think the season's looking good so far. I think we're in a good position.
Yeah.
So City win, they only go 1 point ahead of us. So it's not like a massive gap as it has previously been in other seasons. Yeah. And got to look forward to Saturday against Liverpool. Hopefully we can get the win. We'll see what Ollie, well, as you said from last episode, we'll see whether Ollie is going for the FA Cup or he's going for the Premier League with his team selection.
What would you want to see? Would you want to see a strong-ish weakened team and then we just blitz the league? I say that with all the hope in my heart. Or would you want us to knock Liverpool out of the FA Cup, potentially fatigue some players like Fernandes, like Luke Shaw, etc.? Or would you want us to just keep it easy and go all out against Sheffield United?
I think against Liverpool, I think he's actually going to change the team. I think I'd like to see Henderson in goal, Telles, Van der Beek, definitely. Problem is we don't really have a sub for Wan-Bissaka at right back, and he just gets tired very quickly.
I think, unfortunately, Twanzebe would be his sub, even though I want him to become a specialist centre back. So I could see Twanzebe playing right back in that match.
And then midfield, I want to see Fernandes rested, but then again, I don't know if that's going to happen. And then obviously up front, Greenwood, I just don't know. I don't think he's going to play full strength team. It's hard to predict, but
I just think Diallo,
at the end of the day,
Martial might start. Rashford probably will start, because he always, regardless of whether we play a full strength, I mean, a fully weak or a semi-weak team, there's always 2 or 3 first teamers in there. And Rashford is usually one of them. Rashford, Fernandes, and Harry Maguire, obviously. So one or all of those 3 will definitely play, I think. Well, we're talking about like we're playing against Colchester. We're playing against Liverpool. We're gonna field a strong team. It just so happens that we have quite good squad depth now as a team. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see us win the game, but then again, I think that we have to win the game. That's our only cup. Well, that's one of our 2 cup competitions that we're still in.
Yeah.
So we literally, it's either that or Europa League, and then there's the Premier League. So I'd like to see us progress against Liverpool, but who knows? It's going to be quite a tough game again. I feel like they might feel this a slightly weaker team.
Mental games between the managers at the moment.
Yeah.
Which one wants the FA Cup more? Which one wants the league more? Because they're both going to say to the to whatever press conference they're in that they want to win both, as you should. You should want to win every game you play, but they will behind the scenes be thinking, I want to win the Premier League more, or I don't think it's plausible to challenge for the Premier League right now. Let's go for the FA Cup. And you can probably guess who I'm talking about when I say those things. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a good match. I think it won't be 0-0.
So yeah, I think to round up this, I think it's a shorter episode. 2-1 win against Fulham away from home. I don't know how many away wins we have this season, but
But we haven't lost away in over a year now. So
yeah, that's crazy.
Ollie's setting records. Ollie's at the wheel, boys.
Ollie is at the wheel.
Tell me how good does it feel?
But yeah, Ollie's at the wheel. Man United top of the league again. I know Arsenal fans hate us. I don't know what it is with Arsenal fans, but jealousy. Yeah, we're top. We have Liverpool next game, Sheffield next week. Thank you again, Anton, for this episode.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Who should start next game? Should it be Van der Beek or should Fernandes be rested? We'll see you next episode.
Goodbye.